Hi, my name is Garrett Christopher, and this is my YouTube channel. This is called Garrett Sports Take. And I've got two more of these channels. There's a Garrett's Movie Take, where I talk about my favorite movies and try and convince you why they're so great. And I've got Garrett's Take, where I talk about more serious things. Right now I'm talking about homelessness. Please check that one out. And I am trying to learn more about what my community does and what I can do for my community in that respect. So please come along for the ride on that one. I am a self-published author. You'll find out more about me on my website, garetchristopher.com. I have a couple of audiobooks available on Audible that I've narrated myself, as well as a weekly podcast available on Soundcloud and Spotify. So please check these things out and let me know what you think on this channel, any of the channels. My website, my email address is garetchristopher@gmail.com. Please let me know. Doesn't matter. Good, bad, or indifferent. I want to hear it all. All right. We have one division left. What I'm doing right now is talking about the NFL, the upcoming season, 2021, and I'm just talking about the divisions. If you're a fantasy person, I'm not your guy. I don't talk about the numbers. I just talk about the teams overall, where I see them fitting in for this upcoming season. Just based on who they've got going, what happened last year, and what I predict for this year coming up. We'll see how good I am. This is all going to be on tape, so we'll see next year how this all turned out, right? So the final division that I have to cover is the NFC North. I talked last time about the AFC North, and now it just seems like these northern teams, man, colder climates, smash mouth football getting in there, that kind of a thing. No doubt, you go into Chicago in December, it's a rough gig. Minnesota, definitely cold for sure, but I don't get that same feeling that you're like just pounding away at the ball and like just feeling for these guys' hands when it's, when you're watching Monday Night Football and you're in Chicago and it's, 10 degrees or whatever like that. And the same thing for, Green Bay. Oh my goodness. Can't imagine. I'm a California boy, so there's no way I could survive. I wouldn't even want to go to a game. As much as I'd love to be in Soldier Field or, in Wisconsin and Green Bay for a game just for nostalgic purposes and saying, hey, I did it, too cold. There's no way. My thin blood wouldn't handle it. All right. So this year coming up, I see things kind of panning out the same way they did this past year. So we had Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers is back, and we have Green Bay, I think, where they won the division last year. They'll come right back and win it again. I think, again, 13 wins, so I'll give them another loss, so 13-4. But I don't see Chicago or Minnesota really. I see overall, if you take the overall record for divisions, aside from the NFC East, I see this division being the second worst as far as overall record in there. Chicago, a couple of years ago, Chicago had an incredible record and did an incredible job, but you've got Andy Dalton as your quarterback now. Now, I know Andy Dalton played in Cincinnati, and it gets cold in Cincinnati, but I don't know if it's Illinois cold, Chicago cold. That's cold, right? Great Lakes cold. So I don't know if we're going to see a whole lot from him there. No mobility, of course. And I see him as a stopgap for Justin Fields, right? To see how that goes. And we'll see how the season pans out. I predict that halfway through the season, Justin Fields will be the quarterback, and Chicago at that time will be, 3-4 or what have you. And he'll take over, and they'll end up, 7-10, 8-9, somewhere in there. That's how I see the season going. But, if with Chicago drafting Justin Fields, maybe they kind of feel like, hey, that's fine. We'll get a quarterback for now. We've got this young man that can bring Justin along and show him something and go from there. But that's how I see this season going for Chicago. Minnesota. So Kirk Cousins. I think we all feel that Kirk Cousins can be an amazing quarterback. I think we're also, all of us, not surprised when things don't quite pan out that way. So Minnesota, I think, has the opportunity to be a really good team, and yet I think that they won't be able to get over the hump in certain games and win that, 23-20 game, 27-23, something like that. They'll be on the short end of those particular games. And I think Green Bay will have their way with pretty much all the teams in the division. I think they might lose one game in their division for the entire season. And then Detroit. So Jared Goff comes over. Will he be an improvement over Matthew Stafford in Detroit? I don't think so. He doesn't have the arm, I don't believe, that Matthew has as far as the gunslinger mentality. And I think that it will be a transition for them. Now we'll see offensively if they kind of gear it more toward Jared's style of play. But I think between him and Matthew, they're similar enough, their styles, to where there won't be a big change. And I think record-wise, there won't be a big change either. So really, I see that division playing out the way it did this past season. So you had Chicago at 8-8. I give them another loss. I put them at 8-9. You had Minnesota at 7-9. I put them right in there. In fact, they may even tie Chicago at 8-9. And I put Detroit in there. And you know what? I'll give them one more win, 6-11, and go from there. But I think Green Bay is going to be the darling of that division. By the way, Aaron Rodgers, incredible athlete, incredible player, and I don't like him. I don't know why. It's not because it's Green Bay. I have nothing against Green Bay. I've never liked the guy. Not that anyone would care. He definitely wouldn't care. I'm no one and couldn't do 1/100th of what he does, in any aspect. Heck, I couldn't even act on one of those, insurance commercials. But I don't like him. I don't know why. Sorry, Mr. Rodgers. I think you're probably just a great guy, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just jealous because he's got so much talent and I have nothing. So there we have it. I finished up all the divisions now, and that's who I've chosen. I can't remember who I chose, so I'm not going to go down the line for each one. But please check these things out. And after we go from here, I probably will get into who I see having a great season as far as quarterbacks and running backs. I'll do a little of research on that, receivers too. And maybe I'll do a couple of rants on those as well. Hey, thanks so much for checking in. Please visit GaretChristopher.com and have a great day. Thanks. GoPro, stop recording.